Banana is also a language model. Banana is really smart, so people use will use their knowledge
Yeah, that's
too.
it.
So they know what they will search Elmo and put Elmo in the photo. So I needed to specify Elmo is the person in the photo. And then,
Do you want me to get a DI?
no.
We don't need one.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
running
you're right.
XLRs, yeah.
I don't need that.
We're running XLRs. They both take
Okay, next.
less
Outfit.
equipment, less things.
Outfit swap is like really fun things.
I'm gonna go create the new channels, have them ready on Pro Tools.
Yes, yes.
You said 25, 26, 27, 28?
Yes, sir.
Next, let's talk about outfit. I like these models, which turned out the texture. Next, let's do outfit. I like to swap outfits in Banana. But at this point, I was tired of me using him as a model. So I will use my male model, Samuel. That guy was struggling for the headshot. And I want Samuel to wear this outfit. In real life, I think it's gonna be hard to convince Samuel to wear this, but in my world, boom, so cool. This outfit, boom, really cute. And I found this cool guy, Street Snap. I want Samuel to wear this. What can I do? I will make it lay flat. If I swap the face, it's not gonna be Samuel's body. It's gonna be kind of hard. It's not gonna be perfectly changed like Samuel wearing this. So first I will make it lay flat and boom. So nice. This is really nice. I really like it, so I needed to let Elmo wear it. Boom. Isn't this cool? I want you to wear like I want you to dress like this one day. Okay, next. For the Samuel photo shoot, I have an image of like this kind of taste. But since the model in the background is different, it's kind of hard to see and compare. So again, I will make it lay flat and boom. Now it's so easy to compare. Let's see. Next, I created this diesel costume, put it on Samuel, and I made this prompt. I made it specific because I had a specific vision how I wanted to look like. So again, I cannot read this. I read this, but yeah, it's like really details. It's I'm talking about lots of details where I want him arm to be and what's the background look like, what's the lighting look like, and then the pose and boom.
You want to read over here?
Yes. And boom. Thus I can make a video. Really cool. I love this is a starting frame, like starting frame. I can make a video. Really cool. So this can be a music video. This can be a music video or Instagram video. Once you have a full visual, so easy to change it to video. So same kind of process, and I put him in this like cool looking sofa. So if you have any vision that you want to make, if you want
All good?
to have a vision of music video or any shoot, you're gonna show it to your music director, like you
Oh, you're
wanna
on your end.
show it to the team. It's good. Have like image photo. Just talking people, it's gonna be hard to visualize it, but if you have a vision, it's gonna
We tested
be
the signal to
amazing.
the computer, right?
Yeah, it works. So it's
See?
Is it good?
Yes.
But the switch when she plugs in.
Oh.
The switch would be.
So I found this cool visual. I want this to be Samuel's next cover album, so I recreated this
I want to see some timing. So you guys are getting started. As is usual.
boom. I put Saturn there to the music. That's his album title. Boom. Like, it's gonna be a cover album. And I made a t-shirt, so this can be his merchandise. So next thing is merchandise. I take the balloons and make a t-shirt mock-up. It's easy. If you have something that you want to put on t-shirts, that is easy. I really loved this spacey ones, so I made a hat. If this is what is in real life, what is going to look like if I wear it? So I wore it. I like it. Okay, next. Oh, this is a logo.
It's starting at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
This is a logo for Jam
It
Card.
doesn't change anything on your guys' end. We're still gonna get out
Logo
here
for
at the
Jam
same
Card.
time.
That was company.
Because there was a lot of mingling time at the end.
Jam
There's
Card.
a little bit more.
I made it a mask in a mask. I made it into a mascot. Cute. Boom. Cute. It is asked mascot. Yay. Whoa. And then I made a bunch of different artists because some artists a platform for artists. So it's prompt. I use the same prompt. I just add playing guitar, singing with mic, playing drums, playing this. Really simple wording, and I will do this. I've also made a landing page if you wanna make
If
a
you guys are able to, like,
website.
if you guys want to go make yourself some fights, like play on the side right now, I was talking to the coach. That'd be the time.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys, food is delicious. So.
You ate?
Oh yeah, I eat on the go.
You didn't tell these guys to come with you?
I eat on the go.
The
I told them
website
no. Actually, I
can
told the other
be
guys
F,
like I'm gonna go get a
so
plate. I didn't tell you guys. My
for
bad.
asking the
Go eat,
people
guys.
who make website, you making sure there's no one so to cut the cost and then the time.
Did you want some food?
I will go eat something.
Yeah, I said
I, was,
eat that shit
I
now
just need before
all
it's
gone.
too late.
Yeah, I think we're starting in like 15 minutes. We have a little time. Good.
Oh, wait.
That was pretty good.
I'm telling you.
Like, what have I missed here?
They said this is the first time they've had
No,
food like that.
that's it.
Here?
Yeah. Everything else is like finger food. That was pretty good.
I was satiated.
We can go back for seconds, but I don't have time. Not anyways. Well, yeah, if there's still food there afterwards. Oh, what's up?
I finished the fish. I want to finish. I mean, the fridge is half. I had like 5. I had to leave it.
Make a plate and just bring it.
Good to go.
Pour in.
Yes.
So I'm going to introduce you,
Oh, okay.
if that's okay.
Of course, please.
Hard to
I found one error. Okay, this is this.
Yeah.
Yay, fixed it.
Cool vibes. But
Perfect.
food spot now. Same. I've heard of it, haven't been. It's good. Wings were good.
Cornbread.
Cornbread.
Cornbread was good. Grains were good. Mac and cheese. I was like home. You know what I'm saying?
Only some food.
I went home for a second. It was good to myself.
I'm trying to put some music on, but because today was spiritual, I didn't put anything. Okay.
Out this way?
Yeah. It's cold.
All right, we're getting close here, folks.
Yeah. Alright.
Hi! Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
Yay.
Where in Japan are you from?
I was born in Kyoto.
Kyoto?
Yes.
I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Never been.
Never been.
Ah,
I had
you need
tickets to
to
go
go.
to the Olympics in
Ah.
2020.
COVID.
COVID fucked me. Fucked me. Fucked me so hard.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That sucked. But one day I will go.
You should go soon because now lots of people moving to Japan. It's not gonna be the same.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna
Well, that's
mess it
good to
up.
know.
People are gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
Where are they
So-
coming from? Everywhere?
Everywhere, and then Japan is now like the government is trying to have more immigrants.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're
so
encouraging.
yes.
Interesting. The opposite of.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
We're strange. We are a strange country. John,
Yes.
promise me.
Sir.
Promise me.
Yeah.
Promise. Do you promise?
I don't know what I'm wrong.
You have to take
Okay.
the headshots tonight.
I did it.
Where?
We already did it.
With Ari?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never
We
mind.
did it back there. The bad part is that it looks like me.
There we go.
Makes me very uncomfortable. I don't like them.
Is Omos here?
Not yet, but he'll be here in like 2 or 3 minutes, I think.
Should I send everybody in here for the presentation? Or did you want to wait for Omos to actually get here?
We'll let almost, yeah, because I think you're going for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, 15
Okay.
minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
So once Omos walks in, we'll give it another 5 and let her rip? Sweet.
You pronounce your last name Loretta?
Yes. Actually, that's my middle name, but
Oh,
yeah.
it is? Is that what you go by?
Yes, because my
What's your last name?
it's Cheatham. Like no one can pronounce it. Like people were like, how do I pronounce?
How do you spell it?
CHEATHAM.
CHEL,
Yeah, that's why I was
Cheetah.
like, yeah.
Cheetah.
So I was like, okay.
But you
No.
you use Loretto?
Yeah,
Okay.
easy.
I'm just gonna set my stuff back here.
Oh yeah. So cool.
Alright, cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Cool, 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 cool. Ta-da.
Just in case you guys wanted beer. Yeah, just started. Yeah.
It's like
No more forgotten open and mix. So among some half Japanese, half American.
That's all. Hard drive.
Don't look. Oh,
yeah,
but
it like
don't look
records
like
straight
you
to
put
your hard drive.
actually Japanese, half Japanese technically, but I'm from Japan. So English is my second language.
Before it's like, or no, it's a DaVinci, it's a DSP-12.
So
Plus all the fingerprints.
don't look like you put on Japanese. Send as English is my second language. English is my second language. Second language.
How you doing, my man?
Maybe people who
Pretty good.
speak
So before the
English
show
as a
starts.
second language will understand this, but some days I feel like, oh my gosh, is this my first language? I feel native. Was I born here? English flow. It's super easy. And some
That's what I'm
days,
hoping.
nothing's gonna come out. Nothing's
That's what I'm
coming out. Nothing's coming out.
definitely has like a system.
I feel like I forgot everything. And unfortunately, today is that day. So if I'm stuck, please be patient with me. So please be patient with me. I don't know why, maybe too much caffeine. I don't know. But please be patient with me. And I will be reading from the script a lot. Be patient with me.
To get clarity on things like just have conversations. But
Some prompt is really long.
As much as AI is
So if
connected.
you guys could help me reading it,
create this image of blah blah
that's
blah.
gonna be helpful. It's gonna be helpful. It's gonna be helpful. pretty sure I'm almost on Instagram. No, it's not. No,
I haven't really picked up anything. I think you guys keep going though.
I created this.
And then we can just I can open up.
I created this. Mm.
2 hours in. I'm gonna edit that
You
out.
know, create this. I created this.
But you can create time too. Unless you want like apps or something.
Yeah, like this is an app.
Yeah, like game time.
I created this. And actually, even this photo is not real either. I made this from this original photo using AI.
So what?
We're opening their panel and then she'll talk after.
She started first.
Oh, okay.
She started first.
Am
And
I
then
going to sit here while you go to go?
why?
Hmm.
I think you're still going.
And actually, even this photo is not real.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Not real. But I made it from this original photo. Let me show you what's possible with Mama Banana, actually known as Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Reflex for incredible use cases for entertainment, business, creative, project, etc. that you never thought it's possible. It was ranked #1 on our image editing leaderboard. To be accurate, it's leaderboard. To be accurate, it's not #1 anymore, but that's only because AI is evolving so fast that can change almost every week. Right now, the top spot belongs to a model called Dreams 4.0, but honestly, my favorite is still Not a Banana. What I love about Not a Banana is that with every simple prompt that you give it, you get professional results. I don't need to speak perfect academic English for it and understand casual words, so even with my broken English, it will do magic. Of course, being specific will guide it better, but you can start simple. The best part about Not a Banana is you can do this for free right now.
Y'all good?
Okay, good. I think we're gonna start calling people in.
Okay.
Now that Omas is here.
We are live.
Hey.
Now, Omas is here.
Use the audio also to power
Good place for me to sit the whole time and you talking like a
Eureka!
Hi, Teresa.
Hello, Omas!
You could sit in
Yurisa-chan!
you can watch.
Whoa!
Cool?
Let's go warm up real quick.
Are you cold, baby?
Right.
No, not cold.
John, you talking about me? She's ready to go. She's professional.
This is
I know. She's been ready. Let's go. Can we bring everyone in?
I have a
Yep, we're
question.
doing it right now.
After me, while you guys are talking, where I am gonna be?
Audience.
Oh, okay, like I can just like sit somewhere. What if there's no seat? I can just move. Should I just move my seat there and like
You
sit?
and I can trade seats, because I'm gonna sit to
Oh,
the
okay, okay, okay.
I'm gonna
I get
sit.
to hang out with you
Then
guys.
can you put this under the seat because I don't want to like hold this everything and go there. Like I don't know.
Back here on the stand.
I don't have to wear a lab, right?
You can just put it underneath.
This would be a good spot for me to get.
Yeah,
Like you
you're
can
not
put it
allowed-
underneath
I
the.
just been wearing
I'm
one.
gonna save my seat.
Oh, okay,
I've
okay.
been wearing one all day. It's in my
Alright, how do we
pocket.
tell everyone to come in?
You're always you're ready to go.
How do we tell everyone to
They're
come in?
supposed to be doing it right now.
Oh, good, you had your people.
People are doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we can set that one, yeah. Yep.
Looks so pretty, I love you.
I love you too.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
I want the shirt.
What shirt?
Lisa.
You want that shirt,
Logo.
right?
Out of the squash zone.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. It looks like you though.
She has a type. It's her ex and
Exact same type.
You're all interchangeable.
yeah. You're too skinny.
I'm not reliable. We can call this neutral.
Oh, was gonna leave the building? Okay, I don't. Okay, I will just leave it there and then. Okay. No, it's good. I can. Yeah.
You can just leave it there even when you're done speaking.
Yeah.
No one's coming up here. So
Oh,
that's
perfect.
everything.
I just didn't want to like grab
Just leave
everything.
it there. It's gonna be
Okay.
totally fine.
I will leave everything here, no?
Maybe just
Okay.
close the laptop.
Yeah, close the laptop. Okay, baby.
My new favorite is Trader Joe's. But actually, yeah. But you can.
Feels like I'm singing. Oh. No. Whatever you think it's good. Should I? Oh, we'll just turn it on? Okay.
Welcome to the Recording Club, everybody. I said, welcome to the Recording Club, everybody. Woo! I will start by briefly saying I saw a quote the other day that really resonated with me, and it was, "The only time more exciting to be alive than today is tomorrow." but it really resonated with me because, thank you, Solomon, because the technologies that we're seeing come out right now are going to change everything. They're changing it in front of our eyes. I've been seeing, even the past couple days, as I've been paying attention to what's been coming out, it's like every day there's something that you're like, this is going to change how we do everything. And so rather than live in fear of what is going to come, my determination is to see what's going to come and figure out how to utilize it to bring out our greatest selves and our greatest creativity and bring us together. And as human beings, utilize these tools to lift ourselves and each other up. And so we have partnered here with the Abundance Institute and with John and Kayla and Elmo as well from Jamcard. Give Jamcard a big round of applause, everybody. Jamcard. And we're doing these workshops once every month, along with the summit once a year in Utah. That was really cool this past year. Talk to John or me or Kayla about it if you have questions. But it's all about seeing what's coming and seeing how we can utilize it as a creative community. And it's really, really, really cool and really exciting. To the point where we're actually working on building a room that will be called the AI Room in this studio that will have all the latest and greatest stuff for everybody to use in their own projects. So without further ado, I want to welcome the Abundance Institute here and welcome John Harden to the stage, good friend who I've known for a very long time, also a great songwriter, guitar player, musician. And he will be taking you into the next part of our journey here.
All right. Thanks, Greg. All right, y'all. So Greg just mentioned some of us were hanging out in Utah a couple weeks ago, and we got together as musicians and as policy shapers and as tech leaders. And one of the things we did was we broke up into teams, and we created our own AI artists, their first song, and a music video for their song. And we were all struggling through it. Thankfully, I saw Ian was in here somewhere. There he is back there. Ian helped us a lot, leading us through video, how to create a video. So we're all struggling through it and creating what we could. We came out with some pretty cool results. Meanwhile, though, in the back of the room, in the corner, Eureka Loretta was sitting back there. And she was not a part of any of our groups. And she was creating an AI artist song and video. And we had like 13 seconds or something that we had created. And it was cool. I mean, it was cool. What we created was super cool. And then Eureka shows her video and just blew us all out of the water. It was amazing what she created. Now, this was 3 or 4 weeks ago. And to create the images, we were using Midjourney. Well, just in a couple of weeks, now the platform to use is Nano Banana. And Eureka has been working a lot with Nano Banana. And so she has kindly agreed tonight to walk us through a demonstration of how to use this tool and all the amazing things that you can do with this tool if you're a musician or whatever it is that you're into and whatever you're doing. So, Eureka, please guide us through it. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for introducing me. Hi, everyone. Hello. So first of all, I need to say, so English is my second language, and for the people who's like English is second language, probably would understand some days our English will flow so easy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know how much English I know. And some days I feel like I forgot everything, and today is the day that that my English is not flowing. So bear with me and be patient, please. So today, I want to show you a little bit of what I can do with AI visuals. I'll be using Nano Banana, which is currently the talk of the town, as our main tool. Take a look at this photo. This is a screenshot from Elmo's Instagram. No, it's not. I created this. So I created this with this, but even this photo is not real. I made this from this original photo using AI. Let me show you what's possible with Nano Banana. Officially known as Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, will be explore incredible use cases for entertainment, business, creative project, etc. So It was ranked #1 in the AI image editing leaderboard. To be accurate, it's not #1 anymore. But that's only because AI is evolving so fast that ranking can change almost every week or day. But to be honest, my favorite is still Nano Banana. What I love about Nano Banana is that with every simple prompts that you give it, you get professional results. I don't need to speak perfect academic English for it. It understands casual words, so even with my broken English, it will do magic. Of course, being specific will guide it better, but you can start simple. The best part about Nano Banana is you can do this all for free now. My favorite place to use it through FreePic, but you can also use it in Gemini, Google AI Studio, Adobe Firefly, and many other platforms. Nano Banana is really good at maintaining consistency and changing background while keeping everything the same. So let's do headshots. Whether you're a musician or not, everyone needs a killer headshot and profile photo these days. You can flash the most beautiful natural smile when you're hanging out with your friends, but the moment a professional photographer points that intimidating camera at you, you freeze up. Sounds familiar? But don't worry, AI can turn that natural smile you show to your friends into a professional headshot. For example, let's use Elmo's picture. I love this picture of him hanging out with his family. I crop up just his face from this photo and then upload it to FreePic. So this is how FreePic looks like. And on FreePic, I choose Google Nano Banana and put the cropped picture in. And I'm going to use a super simple prompt. So put the prompt in the top corner, polish this into a studio quality headshot, and generate. So it's going to take about 20 to 30 seconds. So I will just skip ahead and show you the result. So let's go. Boom. This photo transformed into a professional headshot. Okay, so using this photo, change outfit to a semi-formal look. Boom. So nice, right? And then he actually had this headshot, but because it's black and white, it's kind of limited to use, right? So convert this black and white portfolio photo into a natural colored photo. Boom, like that. And then using this photo, move the camera up for higher angle shot. Boom, like that, sexy. I like this photo very much. So make a professional artist headshot as a drummer. So boom. Drum kit behind him, or boom. I don't know if he ever holds his stick like this, but I kind of like it, right? And wearing something nicer and look like it was taken in a high-end studio. Boom. Ooh. So now I can put this in a magazine cover like that, Billboard, or Rolling Stones for fun. And then now, so it can do the work from simple prompt, but if you have specific image or vision, you need to put like more detail. But my workflow is, so I think and speak in Japanese. So I type my prompt in Japanese and I ask ChatGPT to translate it in English. So I never like read it out in English. So I will just skip, like, can you guys just read it? I don't want to miss it out. So, yep. So I put this prompt because I wanted him to have specific pose and style. So this is how it looks. Boom. Like that. So cool. So now he has a stick, drumstick. It's a little long, I guess. So I want to create. I didn't know how long the stick is gonna look. And I was like, okay, maybe. So I made a album cover. So this is jazz music version. Boom. Ooh, looks cool. And the next one looks so metal music. Boom, like that. Right? So I didn't even put any font or anything, and it would just use their image of metal and do the work. If you want to have specific font and stuff, you can put that into. Okay, so create festival Jam Jam poster artwork featuring Elmo Novano as a headliner. Okay, I only put this prompt, right? And then, boom. So I put the Jam Jam logo. This is a real Jam Jam logo. So it will create like this. So this is the recording club. It's the picture from over there. Control room. Seeing this side. And then I put Greg's photo. I stole this photo from Instagram. This one is actually from Instagram. And this is his birthday night, so he's drinking wine. So I turn it into him playing piano. And then I made a master class at the recording club. Okay, so next I wanted to make Elmo's master class. So I changed Greg to Elmo and put Elmo's photo. But the thing is, they did this. So this problem is because, yeah, unfortunately this Elmo is more famous. So even I put Elmo's photo, I didn't specify the photo I put is Elmo to the model. So they just used their knowledge. Elmo is this guy and put this picture in. So I needed to change the photo that I am referring to is Elmo. And then this. Yeah. So sometimes you need to be more specific. Okay. So next, outfit. This is my favorite. So I will use Samuel. Probably Elmo is tired of me using his photo. So I will use my male model, Samuel. And then I want Samuel to wear this outfit. Probably in the real life, it's hard to convince him to wear this outfit. But in AI world, boom. So nice. And then this outfit looks like this. So cool, right? And then I found this cool photo. I want Samuel to wear this. But because even I swap the face, they have a different body. So what I did was I flat lay like this and put it on Samuel. Boom. So nice. And then I loved this outfit so much, I needed to make Elmo to wear this. Boom. I love it. No, it looks good. So for Samuel's photo shoot, I have an idea. Like I want this taste of clothes that I want him to wear. But because the model or background is different, it's kind of hard to compare. So again, I made it lay flat and boom. I made Samuel to wear it. So now it's really easy to compare. Okay, so now I put this Diesel costume on Samuel, and then I did this long prompt because I had exact vision that I want to make and like make it look like a music video kind of look. So I put this prompt, and then it turned out like boom, like this. So cool. Boom, like that. And then from here, if you have a cool visual, it's really easy to turn into a video. Like that. So, like same type of process. If you have like image that you wanna show it to people, like music video or either like photo shoot, it's hard to like without visual. It's just an image. It's hard to share with team. So before like making it happen, doing that, if you can make something easy and show it to the team, it's good to like share the vision, right? And then okay, I found this cool photo. I want next Samuel's album cover looking like this. So I recreate it. Boom, like that. And I changed Surrender to the Music. That's the album title. So I made an album like that. And oh, this is so cool. I put it in t-shirts. So next we're going to talk about merchandise. So using the balloon picture, I made a t-shirt mock-up. And this one, this beigey one, I really loved. So I made a hat too. And if they have this in real life, I want to wear it. So before buying it, I want to try it on. So this you can use it for any like shoppings. If you want to buy something, you can try it before buying it. So this is Jump Card's logo. If you don't have a cool photo that you want to turn into t-shirts, maybe you can use your company logo. I made it into a mascot. So cute. Yeah. Yeah. And I made a bunch of different artists because Jump Card is for artists. So all these I use the same prompt, just add playing guitar or singing with a mic or harmonica, like same prompt and just add a little bit of difference. And I can also make a landing page. So if you want to make website and stuff, it's easy to make some samples before giving it to designer or developer to cut the cost. And same, I should put like some cute music, but if you have a visual, it's so easy to make it in video. So if you don't have any company logo or logo that you can use, this is the way to make something cool. So I found this cute font saying love in a heart shape. And this is tips. So put the reference photo and also put it in the prompt area. And it will give you a detailed prompt. And then you just need to change something that you want to change, right? So I read everything. Love, I will delete that and put my name in, Yurisa. And unrelated stuff you need to delete. So the O in love and da-da-da-da-da, I need to delete that part. So delete that part and then this. It says Yurisa now. So now I can use this for my merchandise. So Yurisa t-shirts. Yurisa sweater using Elmo for a model. And I love it so much, so I made a hat. And I need a model. So, yeah, grandma or kids can do a model for me. And I also can make this style book. So it's really, Nano Banana is really good to keep everything consistent. So this is a energy drink, Jab Jab energy drink. Yeah, but yeah, I can do million other stuffs, right? Like making recording club card or this thing, or I can even put this crazy costume on Samuel. And yeah, I have million other things I could show you, but today time is limited, so I will like to wrap it up. But if we have another opportunity, let's explore the AI world together again. Of course, this is not my real photo either. Thank you so much for the attention.
Thank you, Eureka. Thanks for walking us through that.
Thank you
So,
much.
Eureka, I think we'll be around if y'all got questions for how she does some of that. We can keep exploring it. But the great news is you just had to look at Elmo a lot. We get to look at him even more in real person. So, real person in real life. I don't know. So Elmo's going to come up and join us, as well as Omos Keith. Omos, if you want to call on up, we're going to have a conversation. Yeah, y'all give it up for Omos, who came over here from recording. So as Greg said, we've been getting together like this to not only demonstrate ways to... Wait, you going to take my chair?
No.
Come on now. I got 2 mics.
No.
2 mics.
Nice microphone.
Thank you. Yeah. We've been demonstrating ways to use AI, as well as having conversations with folks who are experimenting with and using it in different ways in music. And so we get to do that tonight as well. So I wanted to, if any of you have been here before, know that I'm a history dork, history nerd, and I like to start with a little history story and a little hum in my voice.
Can we get rid of the hum in John's voice?
That's okay.
You're gonna shoot it. Shoot the room.
So I wanted to tell y'all about a guy. There was this guy that worked for Exxon. So he was really into oil, but he also played the flute, and so he was really into music. And he had actually paid his way through college by teaching flute lessons. And he found a way to bring these two things together, Exxon and flute. He figured out a way to use sound waves to discover where oil might be present in the ground without actually drilling. You could use sound waves to figure out where oil might be. And it turned out to be so lucrative, but by the time he was 40 years old in the late 80s, he was able to retire. And so he started his own audio company using this technology that he had figured out with sound waves. And he started making audio tools. And one day he was at lunch with a sales representative, and the sales rep had brought his wife to lunch. And she just kind of joking said, "Well, do you have anything that could help me sing better?" And he thought, oh, well, that's an interesting idea. And so he developed a audio tool based on this technology that he had used to discover oil. And he started selling this tool, and a lot of producers started using it in their studios. A lot of producers started using it. But the interesting thing was that none of them were really talking about it. They were using it, but they weren't saying much about it. And so it's kind of like Italian grandmothers using pre-chopped onions and jarred garlic. But nobody says it's in the pantry, but we don't speak about it, right? We're not using it. Until one day, 2 producers released a song that used it so blatantly that it could not be denied. And yet, they denied it. When they were interviewed and asked, did you use that thing with this? They said, no, we used a vocoder, which is a much older technology. And they kept this up for about a year, saying, no, we didn't do that. And then finally they had to admit to it that they had used what? Auto-tune. That's right. That they had used auto-tune. So it was Mark Taylor and Brian Rawling, and the song was Believe, sung by Cher. And now it was out. Everybody knew that they had used auto-tune. People started talking about it more. And then along came T-Pain, the Johnny Appleseed of auto-tune, sprinkling it all across the land. And the conversation shifted from do you use it to how do you use it? And I'm kind of wondering if we're sort of seeing the same arc right now with artificial intelligence and music and the different ways that it's being used, where the conversation is shifting more to, well, how do you use it? And that's some of the things that we've been talking about here. And I think we have a opportunity to talk about that tonight. So we're very fortunate to have, as everybody knows, Elmo Lovano now. You've just looked at him quite a bit. Founder of Jam Card, drummer, musician, plays with very large drumsticks apparently. But we also have with us, first time joining us, Grammy Award-winning producer, musician, Omos Keith. Omos, thanks for being here, joining
you're
us.
so smart.
Thanks for being with us. So I want to.
You're so fucking smart, John. You said the whole. You said it.
No,
all.
now I'm just going to be quiet, and y'all can enlighten everybody. So
I can't believe that the guy that invented autotune was having sound waves discover oil before that. That's crazy.
yeah,
A flautist and a flautist.
yes, and a flautist. You never know. So you never know where innovation will come from when you mix and bring interesting things together, and we can talk a little bit about that. So that's what I'd love to do is start out, Omos. You have a history of using disruptive moments, disruptive technologies as creative tools with the Hollywood recordings, with Channel Orange, with so many of the things that you've done. I'm wondering, as you see what's happening right now with artificial intelligence and music, if it calls to memory for you previous moments where there's been disruptive technology that kind of changed things, that you were able to leverage, other people were able to leverage, and what kind of lessons you learned from those moments that you can share with us as we live in this moment. If that makes
That makes a lot of sense. Well, firstly, I'll address quickly that you better believe we're keeping secrets.
Yeah.
So that arc, as you speak of, is
and it's one of the fun things. Last time that we got together, Bam was with us, Brandon Hodge, and Bam was putting some of the prompts that he uses in AI,
He's
but
not
he didn't
keeping
want us to
secrets.
see the prompts.
Oh, okay.
That was the secret sauce, like you said, the secrets, right? So he's like, I do these prompts, but he kind of blew through it pretty fast because he's been developing these prompts over time, right? And that's one of the secrets.
Our prompt game, as we referred, not too unlike Africa Bambaataa and Kool Herc scratching off the titles on records so that no one could see what they were playing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been going on, the secrecy.
that's
So
solid.
everyone, as record producers, we have our process is proprietary, right? It should be. A lot of the footage that we're seeing now that we herald as producers is old footage and was not meant to be seen at the time. This is all airing now, but we're seeing it. But it was behind the scenes footage. We're like showing the behind the scenes footage too early, generally speaking. I think overall, I think we're just like BTS'd out. Like I don't know. But, I'm a jazz musician, so that was disruptive in and of itself, for real. And as far as where I grew up in my community, that was just disruptive behavior for my social interactions with everyone around me. And then I had to go to Manhattan or play at the library and be with people like myself. But generally speaking, in the neighborhood, being a jazz musician was not the business. And that disrupted my lifestyle a little bit. So there's that disruptive technology. Not necessarily computers, but when I was 16, I started using a beat machine, and then that was very disruptive because we were breaking the law unknowingly. This is the whole thing, right? Sampling. The whole sampling game was so disruptive because inherently it was just breaking the law, copyright law, for the sake of art and creativity and for the sake of society and the future of society. It's kind of ill when you put it that way. I was doing an AI talk, and De La Soul was in the audience, and there was just basically a reference to that they'd created a body of work that is now in our nation's great depository in the Library of Congress as one of the great works of American art, 3 Feet High and Rising. Okay, this is what America says is one of the pieces, and it was birthed out of a very disruptive art form, hip hop, sampling, the technology part was what disrupted everything so much, because people were just having fun. Then people started making bread, and then lawsuits happen, and then you start losing your bread. And for example, as a rep producer, you can have a partner, for example, and your partner samples something, and then you've collected several $1,000s, and then there's several $1,000s to collect. And then people get wind of what's in the record, and then you have to stand behind it. And now, where's my money? And sampling is just probably the most disruptive beat making and utilizing beat making technology for sampling has probably been the single most, if I can think of a disruptive moment in my life, using, and then when I started using it, I was definitely disrupting because just we were breaking the norms sonically and creatively. And then by the time I got in my band, we were doing stuff that was just out of here. It was just psycho music. And using technology to change the frequency of music. I mean, I don't know. Is it disruptive or is it nourishing for society? It's a fine line between the two. It's both, I think. There's a yin-yang to it. But I don't think that we're using any new technologies that are not disruptive. I often recount reading about how the Musicians Union, the American Federation of Musicians, was going to rally against the manufacturers of drum machines early on. They were going to sue the drum machine manufacturers, so there's that. That didn't last long, but it was going to happen.
Local 802, which is the
802,
right? They did vote on banning the use of drum machines.
You're not taking our jobs,
but they didn't. There was no enforcement mechanism. But they did.
What was the mob?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, that's fair.
No, the union. No,
Not a bad one.
But yeah, they could have disrupted too. But see what that did. I mean, it made people go crazy, and it literally there was a time when the drum machines hit 30 years ago where people thought they were going to lose their jobs. What in the hell did I study in school for? Mm-hmm. What was this all for? So, the only reason why I can bring this up is because I've spoken to older human beings from that era that told me, "Damn!" I thought for a minute, "What the hell did I? What did I do to all the studying for?" Then, now 2024, 2022, let's say, one of my dearest buddies we start getting into technology, but I'm moving a little bit faster on the faster in pace on the technology side. I bring him in, and I introduce him to some generative AI, and this is one of the best pianists in the world, and he's just like, "What the hell? What did I do all this studying for?" And he was stymied, and he was hurt. He was butthurt, as we say. He was heartbroken that he dedicated so much time to his craft. And he was heartbroken in front of me, one of his best friends. And it was like, and I was like, "Wow, it's not so bad." He was like, "No, this is horrible." And it just so happened that he had a project due for an artist that was requiring his services as a musician, a music creator. And I just emphasized to him that he could get to the bottom of it all and basically to the check without any of his hassle if he were to just utilize some generative AI. If he were to just do it. After 2 days spending with me, watching me do it, being miserable, hating it all. And then at the point where I generated, through prompting, some examples for him that were so pleasant and so eye-opening that, he folded those into his work and got a big check, and now it's like doing TED Talks. My buddy Rob Lewis, right? So it's kind of crazy what could happen with someone who's vehemently opposed to something so quickly. It's so funny dealing with, and I'll let you, but this is important to me because when I finally sat down with the Abundance Institute and I understood part of the mission, and I can only paraphrase, but if you'll just allow me, from what I understood, we want to create an environment. They'd like to create an environment where people aren't so scared immediately of things. That's just how I kind of understood it. And I like that. That means a lot to me. That's how I kind of live my life. Now, my grandmother always said no to everything. Now. Can I go to the store? No. Here's $20. 30 minutes later, here's 30, here's 40, here's $40, go out and have fun. We're naturally inclined to this no thing. My grandmother, man, we're naturally inclined to this no thing. And so I don't know, on a deeper psychological level, human behavior is inclined to this kind of no thing. So I'm really aligned with everyone who's generally more open to experiencing things and kind of digging as deep as they can go before you make a judgment. For some reason, I was really on the AI immediately, but so many of my colleagues still are just actually, quite scared of it. And I do everything in my power to help them to not be scared of it. And more specifically, to the music creators who are really in it, I tend to hang out with really talented people who can do things. So, like, basically, in layman's terms, I hang out with people who don't need AI, but they're all using it. Why? So I'm posing a question to everyone. I don't know, but again, I hang out with the greatest people in the world who will never need this, and they're like, wow, I like it. So, and I think that's a good place to be. I'm going to deal with those people, generally speaking, but anyone who I come across who wants to learn something about it, I'm happy to share always.
It's funny that you say that, because you and I made friends, right? We had known about each other, but then we made friends, and we're in the studio together with 4 incredibly talented musicians and producers, like all-star lineup. All of us are passionate, lifelong players and everything. And I think I mentioned AI music and that I was making AI music. And Omas, you were like, you prompted? You prompted?
Prompted.
And I was like, yeah, man. He's like, I prompted. You prompted? You prompted? How's your prompt game? And then immediately we bonded actually deeper because we were just openly using it, right? Just using it and talking to each other.
AI'd out.
We were just AI'd out and just talking about it, even though we've both made tons of music as musicians, producers, etc. We were just making shit. It was just a new way to make shit. And we were doing it, and then the other guys in the ensemble were just more curious about it, right? Oh, it's like, what are you doing? But then but so what's crazy is, like, it made us bond even more. Funny enough, which is like a thing you would never think of. And then here we are today, which is wild. But yeah, it's interesting to think about. Yeah, people that you would think don't need it using it all the time. So yeah, so why are you
Lots
using
of them.
Yeah,
But we can't name names.
Can't name names, but
What the hell?
Yeah, and we're kind of like, vulnerable and sitting up here saying we use it at this point in time, because at this point in time it's still like, people don't admit that they're doing it. They don't admit a lot of things that they're doing in real life anyways, or they have a fake persona online or of what they're actually doing or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, there's all these tools, and what's crazy is, so Eureka, who you just saw, Euresa's my girlfriend, right? I'm learning a lot from watching her, because she'll stay up all night and she's sitting there on her laptop and she's making AI videos like all night. Like, I have to tell her, please, you gotta get some sleep. And then I'm just like, oh, she just reminds me of a computer programmer, or she just reminds me of a person making their beats on Logic all night, right? Or whatever it is. Like, that's Eureka using AI, right? And that really opened my eyes a lot too, of just like, oh wow, there's people using AI just as a tool, just making creative art things, but spending all days. She wants to make this video perfect. So she's sitting there for 4 days making this video perfect using AI. And I'm like, that's incredibly creative, right? Like, she wouldn't be able to do that unless you learned all these other tools. They're super hard and you have all this stuff, but now she can just get her vision out. And to me, that was like
Vibe code.
And vibe coding and where that's going. And now, so what's crazy, this is a whole other kind of way to bring the conversation, but like, so we're in this time in AI. We're still so early, right? We're still so it's so young, to the point where we're all like, if people are using it, mostly people are like not saying they are, or you got Timbaland and these people just getting destroyed for being out using it, right? But what's crazy is, so the tools that are out right now that all exist, most of these tools are actually made by like the big tech companies, right? So, or you have, for the music tech tools that have come out, they're made by programmers that may not be musicians or artists themselves, right? Like mostly more computer programmers, people that were building, people that were machine learning people before AI or whatever, even though it's all the same shit, essentially. So you have the products that are out right now, currently in the market, that are at scale and killing it, that you're hearing about, from the ChatGPT to the Nano Banana to the Suno to all these things, are all made by programmers, right? And people that are specialized in machine learning and all this stuff. What we haven't seen yet, that we're going to see in the next 6 to 12 months, is the first AI tools that are going to be coming out from musicians making AI tools, from artists making the AI tools. And we know about a few of them that our buddies are building right now. They're mind-blowing, right? And when they come out, I think it's going to be like an incredible creative tool helping hand. It's not like make me a country song about my dad, right? It's like helping you be a better engineer, helping you mix your songs better, helping you set up your vocal chain, helping you do all these things so you can still execute your vision better. That's really amazing. And we're not quite there yet, but we're almost there. So we're about to see the creators making the creator tools using AI. And that is going to be amazing, because I think that's going to be a lot more of, if you're already a creative person that's been making art, you're going to have these new tools that are just going to still help you make your amazing art, but maybe you can make it 5 times as fast, or maybe you can eliminate some of your workflow steps that were like, oh, I hate this part about my work. This is so annoying that I have to do this every time, right? So, and to that, I think once that wave comes, you're going to have X amount more people using AI openly, because it's like, oh, this is just a creative tool. It's not just like stealing from people and all the other issues that people, fairly have, like from the existing platforms that are out there. So what's going to be really crazy is the platforms that we're going to see in the next 12 months, which I'm really excited to see those come out, because I think they will be more helping hands than just like replacing and creating art from scratch.
So
replacing people.
Right. So thinking about the tools, where we are right now. So you guys recently had a pretty amazing experience where you gathered together with other musicians. I think, Mas, you kind of brought people together where you were using AI tools in music. Can y'all talk a little bit about which tools, or what was exciting for folks? Like specifically, because I assume some people came in skeptical, maybe some came in excited. But what did they see, experience, utilize, and what was the outcome of that? Was there a change of opinion about AI and ways to use it? Was there more opposition? What did that look like?
There are always converts. Every scenario of every gathering that I've done with AI, with people, there are the converts. But I use AI in a way that illustrates my desire to keep humanity flowing, and kind of like counterintuitive to everyone's notion that AI would be replacing people, as Elmo witnessed and participated in with me in a music creation gathering, camp, if you will, whatever. My whole purpose to use AI is to bring people in and hire people. Everything that I do when I use generative AI to make music is that I will have real human beings ultimately. This is my secret sauce. Right? Human beings will ultimately be replacing the AI, as if the AI never was there. I use it as a tool, but it's such an it's so good at making the process more efficient. Once you can harness it, the level of efficiency, and then volume. So then you have increased volume. There's all these concepts and premises that don't matter to some people as well. Paint oils over an oil painting over the course of a 2-year period, a 5-year oil painting, layer after layer after layer. So, there's that, man. There's always those oil painters who are going to take 5 years to do it and layer and wipe and wipe and layer and wipe and layer. And there's a vibe to that. And I think I did that in my formative years, I think. Yeah. So maybe I'm done with it. Procedurally. As a path of these are pragmatism, as a path of sustaining my livelihood, my family, sustaining. I'm not looking at it the same way. This is what's like, okay, at what point does it become, all throughout history there have been professions that the ebb and flow of society creates demand for these professions, and you go to college for this, and you get every 30 years it cycles. And so it's kind of tough that there's going to be a bunch of cats that are like you know, maybe it's time for you to pivot, or let me catch you right before you decide to make that pivot and decide maybe classical music instruction is really not for you. It's kind of dangerous that some of our colleagues are making very disruptive offerings to the software space, to the creative space, because every automatable task is something that can be basically taken away from someone's repertoire of tasks and services they can offer. I am surrounded by love. I mean, wow. Is that my phone? Shit. Wow, I want this. I'm going to keep studying, but I think there's going to be people who aren't going to be studying. I'm wondering personally if, like, my desire to like push on to people that they should be studying something, a craft, is all for naught. So this is something I'm coming to terms with right now. Also, that I would be considered in a group of the more talented music creators, thank the heavens, to an advantage now puts me aside from like laymen. I don't know. Like, people aren't going to do it. I was just part of what my speech earlier today was specifically, let's just not forget that the live demonstration of talents and skills, whether it be for a public forum or just demonstrating yourself on a one-on-one in a practice room, whatever. So that's not going anywhere. And, you know, there's this thing in the live music is double the volume of the three sectors of the music business: sound recordings, music publishing, and live performance. It's double in revenue. Mm-hmm. So there's one, and you know, really quickly, not to meander too far, but there's one thought that with the AI artists, that people are going to be more than happy to see holograms. Now, this is already happening in that if you would go to a very large EDM show, it's not, but right? But many hundreds of thousands of people annually are already enjoying a holographic image, and they don't care that there's a human involved in what they're seeing. So there's that little thing, nothing to be scared of, I don't think. But as these holograms get better, rappers of the highest order who may have a member have passed away are actively seeking to have a hologram replace their bandmate. All members, all the bands. There's a guy who's doing it and getting everybody to come down at least to see it. So I know that that's going down. But the power of the sound pressure of humans, the sound pressure waves of humans, of 100 humans on a stage, in a symphony, there's nothing. There's nothing. I don't think that's going to replace that. So I'm just confident that I didn't waste my time being a jazz musician. I'm going to keep teaching people to be jazz musicians and whatever kind of musician they want to be. And if they want to be efficient in making sound recordings, totally different world. I just want to say one thing about a sound recording. Then it sits on your hard drive or you make it available commercially. Commerce, okay, what are we doing? Like, so that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like as soon as you're entering the world of commerce, you better start being as efficient as humanly possible, or kind of wasting your time.
Yeah, that's good.
Music don't
That's
have to
good,
be
man.
commerce, but
but once
music
it is.
business. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot. Okay. So one of the things that you, I feel like, have done successfully in your career in music is you're kind of a bridge between the creative scene, which we've talked a little bit about, but also like a bridge between the creative scene, but also like the institutional power scene, with the role that you've played with the Recording Academy and other ways. And I'm curious about how, like, What's your advice been, or take us back and forth across that bridge? Like as you look at the creative scene, what's possible in disruption and technology, what's your advice or counsel to the sort of institutional powers? And then maybe back across the bridge from what you're learning there to the creative scene. Or is there a
Advocacy is a very delicate, tender subject. Just now, advocating for. You're talking about a 501c3, the Grammys. My involvement is about an advocacy organization. There's no one getting shorted, right? No one's getting shorted. No one's getting cheated. No one's getting fucked over. We're here to make sure that nobody's getting fucked over. Excuse my French, but I'm just saying in layman's terms, that's what the Grammys is.
That's the purpose.
Come on, man. You know, they're on Capitol Hill lobbying to make sure people are getting paid the right way. Us music creators who make commercially available sound recordings and the underlying compositions. It's only two pieces of this whole game, right? So it's delicate. So what I'm saying is, the advice that I give them is keep advocating. Can't stop. It's never going to stop. We're where we're at in society because great organizations have advocated on behalf of disenfranchised, underrepresented, malrepresented people. It's a kind of a trigger for me because I'm an advocate of the highest order.
Yeah.
And I don't let anybody take anything from me if I can help it. So it's really, I don't like the question of ethics as it pertains to my music creation. Yuck. Because in the rap game, create now, worry later. I largely think it's not just a rap game, it's the Andy Warhol game. The whole Andy Warhol game was create now, worry later. And if you're not doing that, you're doing a great disservice to yourself. To the extent that you would consider, so Quincy Jones just says, as soon as you talk about money, God leaves the room. So that resonates so strongly with me. But only now does it. I didn't know that quote in my earlier years. Sitting in sessions talking about business dealings as it would pertain to the creativity. Oh, we can't sample this because. Just that's the beginning of it in a creative session, in a rap session. I keep saying the rap session, but to the extent that sampling's been used so extensively, everybody who samples probably goes through a stage where they're about to take a sample. And this is where I'm going to bring it home. And if you're just even a little bit in the know of copyright law or just the concept of property, as it's just simple property and ownership, simple premises. If you're even aware of it, you know you're breaking the law and that you can't even use it. So you're taught that very early on. It's not your property. You know you're doing it. You can't use it, mostly. So you're having these conversations. You're sampling it and then saying as a group, damn, we can't sample this. We can't put it out. We know we can't. Now, generative AI has democratized music sampling and music creation in a way that's, I refer to it as the gold rush, which none of us have, there's nobody alive who's been in a gold rush, right? So a limited time of vast resources before they're put back under control of multi-billion-dollar trans-global organizations. So right now there's a lot of power in the hands of music creators. And create now, worry later.
Yeah. That's what,
these aren't felonies. I don't know.
Yeah.
these aren't felonies, bro. But they will come after you. But again, okay. Let's just one last thing. If you create something monstrous, you all know that worry now, create later was the way. Every story that you hear of every masterful creator who's ever done anything, worry now, create now, worry later. Led Zeppelin, right? Am I
Yeah.
tripping? Rolling Stones create Now Worry Later. Like, let's go. Like, De La Soul create Now Worry Later. Like, Library of Congress.
That's right. Yeah, that's where you can land. That's good. Create now, worry later.
Worry now, create later. Create now, worry later.
Euresa's gonna make us shirts for that. Create now,
Let's
worry later.
no, let's worry now and create later.
Well,
That's
you
very
want
New York.
advocacy?
That's that's a Woody Allen version. Worry now, create later.
That's good. Well, we got a couple minutes. If anybody has any questions, or Elmo, if you guys,
I mean, you touched on
wanna
like
follow that.
17,000 things, I think. But I would say like one thing to jump on a few minutes ago is like it's AI is bringing us a ton of stuff, but there's a ton of stuff that's already been here. There's already been hologram shows. We already saw hologram Tupac how many years ago at Coachella, right? And it was the hugest thing ever. And then just no one did it again. The consumer didn't demand it enough, right? Ian and Dave, shout out Strange Loop Studios, right? They've been building avatar artists and all this stuff for years before it was the AI term on it, right? There's been Hatsune Miku out of Japan, huge artist. There's now K-pop demon, is it Hunter or Slayer? Hunter, K-pop demon hunters. So it's like there's humans making the art, but it's like all like it's all anime. There's all like going to be those shows live. It's the number one thing. It breaks all the like. There's still humans making all the art in any of these ways, right? So it's going to be made in a million different ways. There's stuff that already existed pre-AI that people might just stamp AI on as like this AI sticker on, but it was like this already existed before then anyway. How long have you been talking? The ABBA show has been selling out crazy, right? Sold so many, but it doesn't mean that just anyone can do it. Now we have the Sphere, so it's like you go see a show at the Sphere. Doesn't even matter who's on stage. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's up to you. Like, I don't know. There's like a lot of things that isn't even necessarily AI, but people might just be like scared of that. And like I'm using AI. I used AI this week in a new way that I hadn't thought about, which was I'm music directing an artist right now, and we have an arena tour that starts tomorrow, and so we're building out the show, and I need the stems, right? Of course, need the stems from the artist. So my artist that I'm working with just produced a huge album for a huge artist, and he's got a bunch of features and all this stuff. So I'm like, so I have his stems of his songs, but then the features and all these songs, I'm like, I need the stems, right? So I'm like hitting up the camps of these other huge artists trying to get the stems. You already know I'm not getting these stems, right? Like, hey, we're gonna promote it in arenas, we're gonna sing your song. Give me the stems, right? Didn't get the stems. Anyway, and then the artist was like the day before rehearsal started, which was 1 week ago. We had 1 week of rehearsals, and then we fly out to Boston tomorrow morning, and the first show's TD Garden on Thursday, right? And he's like, "What are we gonna do?" And I was like, "If I don't get the stems, I'm just gonna use AI to get the stems, okay?" And he's a young artist that's not excited about AI, which is totally fine. But I was like, bro, we don't play the song. So what do you want? Like, what are we gonna do? That's our best bet. So I ended up using Moises and got the stems of this artist. And day after tomorrow, we're gonna be doing it in arenas and using stems from AI.
How do they sound?
They're not perfect, right?
It'll get you there.
Man, we'll see when it starts bumping on that L Acoustics at least a rig, right? Like in the arena, that's when I'll really hear. So I'll let you know in 2 days. But in rehearsal, it sounded sick. Right? It sounded good enough, right? And so, I mean, one of the things we're gonna do is just add another layer to it. Like just track some guitar, track some keys, add it into the playback with that, right? But it separated everything perfectly. There's still just that little bit, that hiss, a little bit on certain, and a lot of those I just pulled out anyways. I was like, I don't even need that in the track anyways, because you don't need the full record, right? But it was good enough, and it saved us. So we're gonna have like
Background vocals. Did you get background vocals out of it?
I did.
Something.
What's up? It's actual people. Yeah, I mean, does it sound like the artist, like in it, like exactly?
No, I mean, because sometimes when you, in my stem, it's separation experiment.
Yeah.
Like they start to sound kind of uncanny.
Yes, totally. Well, luckily luckily the album that I was doing it with is like super wet like vibe anyway, so it's like it has this whole vibe that luckily kind of matched like what the AI does well. I was like, oh, this is actually yeah, exactly. So it worked out. So I'm really excited to hear it in the arena in 2 days and like see how it sounds. But yeah, in our rehearsals, it sounded killing. There's still live musicians, of course, too. But it's heavy track. It's heavy playback. And so, yeah, so, you know, his songs, I have the stems from the producer, but the features, I was just like, man, what are we going to do? So.
Where the features going to just be pre-recorded and they won't.
No, it's not. So we're not doing the lead vocal is not in the show.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah. I just needed the stems. I just needed like the instrumental stems and the background vocals. So yeah, I didn't take the artist's like lead vocal stem of the feature and put it in. I didn't do that. The artist is just going to sing their parts.
Helping us make our bread. How about that?
So yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, I can't wait for that to be perfect and not have that high end kind of hiss that AI has, which that'll go away soon. But that's an amazing use case of just like, yo, who likes chasing down stems, right? Like that's such a pain in the ass. I mean, a lot of times I have to chase down stems of the artist that I am working with, and we can't even get the stems, right? So I think that's just an example of a use case that just like helps people in general. Where you're like slowing down, you're trying to hit up a producer that's 3 producers ago that's still pissed at the artist, and you're trying to get the stems from them, and they don't have it organized, and it's like, it's just not going to happen.
But still, the majority of people who will use generative AI will be people, for example, who will be prompting songs for their children's birthday, maybe.
Yes, so there's going to be, and you know this, I think we can, you tell me, like, about talking about, like what Suno, like Suno Studio, right? So you guys know Suno, everyone in here knows Suno? Yeah? No? Okay, great. So Suno is like probably the biggest generative music AI platform. So came out December 2023, and you can just type in a prompt and say like, write a song about my dad and how he loves Billy Joel and making his own pasta sauce, right? And make it country or whatever, and it'll just immediately make it and give you 2 versions, and you can just listen to it, and you can just send it to your dad or your friend or whoever you made the song about. So it's like very like throwaway, honestly, right? Like kind of just like, and a lot of people are like, you know, either upset about that or whatever, which is totally fine. In all my experience of creating tracks like that, I just do that for fun, not to actually release commercially. Yeah. I text it to my dad to make him laugh. He goes, haha, and never listens to it again, right? And so there's no, I've never made a generative, you know, text out that where I'm like, you know, like, oh, this, I want to release this. Personally, I haven't. You're seeing that now. You see, maybe you've seen these like viral posts that have gone around that there's like this artist that has 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and it's all generative. They're most likely using Suno. That's like the biggest one. So Suno up till today has just been essentially prompting, and then it outputs a song for you. So you can tell it like the genre that you want. You can't say make it the Beatles or anything like that. It'll be like, we can't do that. But you can like prompt around it, make it sound like 70s harpsichord based, right, whatever it is. Like you can like go into a vibe, and it can do a really good job. It can do an unbelievable job, but it still has that it's funny.
You go to Jen Spark or GPT and say make a song like Eleanor Rigby, and then give me the prompt for Suno, and then it'll give you a language that allows you
to get around it.
This is whatever.
And I think this was you that coined this, because there's like lo-fi, there's hi-fi, now there's AI-fi. AI-fi, right?
Sure.
It has a sound.
You know it.
So up till today, that's pretty much, you can go and you can create a free account on Suno, or they have like a paid one where you can do more. So you can go a little bit deeper in with it as well. You can write your own lyrics, or you can have it write your lyrics for you. You could just input your own lyrics, and it'll build a song around your lyrics.
Are you concerned in a couple of years when it gets much better at that?
So this is what I was about to tell you right now is what they're about to release, right? So I didn't sign an NDA.
I love things that start like that.
I was never asked to sign one.
I didn't either.
I don't think they would care about us saying this, but whatever.
No, I'm not going to talk about anything that's not allowed.
Okay.
Proprietary.
No. Anyways, they're about.
Secrets? You're not gonna talk about something that doesn't exist. I don't know nothing.
No. What like Suno Studio, like what's about to come out? They've announced the name and that it's coming out
That's
and
about to
everything.
come out, yeah.
Anyways, my point is like Suno is about to announce or release Suno Studio. You can read a little bit about it, but you know, I've had access to using it, and it's fucking cool. It's like a a new approach to a DAW essentially, right? And it's quite interesting, and you can be very creative with it. Or you could be, super high level, make the song about pizza and just making the spaghetti sauce for my dad. You could do that and just have fun. But if you want to actually use it as a real creative tool with your ideas and get deep into it, it's pretty awesome. And I feel like that is the direction of where the DAWs are going to go, or what becomes whatever's next after the DAW, right? Like we talk about, like, I mean, there was tape before this, right? Like, it's funny, I had Mike Karen on my podcast, and he said, I think the future of music is going to be made without screens. It's like, well, the past of music was made without screens, right? Like, when you were sitting at Ocean Way cutting the tape in your Quincy, no screens, right? So
Ray Charles engineered a great deal of his recordings, his own recordings. So there's that.
Ain't that some shit? So we've gone through these huge technological jumps, right? When we went from tape to digital, the DAW, now new DAWs, even Ableton coming out, changing a DAW interface, all this kind of stuff. So it's like, so what's next, right? Do we just sit and use Pro Tools and Ableton and Logic for the next 30 years? No way, right? That's not going to happen, right? So what is next? And I think when I saw this Suno Studio that I think is coming out soon, I was like, oh, this is what's going to be next. What follows that, who knows? But I think the evolution is going in this direction, which I think there's a lot of musicians and songwriters and artists in this room. Like, it actually is a way for you to be creative, using your voice, using your skill sets and everything, and go far with your ideas, or use it as a tool, or maybe use that and then you export some of that just into your Pro Tools session or whatever it is, and just choose little tidbits. So I think that's where this is going to go. And also, that's super hands-on, and it's technical, and it can be hard to use, and you can go really deep. It's not just the high level, make me a song about this. Like, you can get real nerdy with it. And it's fun. So I think that'll be a new way for all these creative ideas. And one last thing I just want to say is, when I think about when people are like, oh, but now you can just make this song and put it up on Spotify, and that sucks, right? But it's like, yeah, but who's going to listen to that, right? No one. Like, when you look at these generative audio platforms, like, they don't have millions of streams on a single song, right? Or maybe there's these ones that are popping out now. There's a few of them. But in general, my point is, the hardest thing to do as an artist of any sort, no matter how you make your art and whatever medium of art you're making, is just having your art resonate with humans, right? Can you make a human feel something? Can you make a human feel good? Can you make a human feel sad? Can you make a human angry, excited, whatever? That's incredibly hard to do. And can you make something that they want to listen to or watch over and over and over again, right? That's incredibly hard to do, whether you use Pro Tools or whether you use Logic or whether you're using BandLab. There's kids making these hits on BandLab right on their phone. How many of you have heard of BandLab? Exactly. There's like 150 million users, and they're all Gen Z, and they're making on an app called BandLab, right? So there's all these different ways, or whether you're using real film and you're filming it on your camera, or you're using your iPhone. Like, what if someone makes a movie on their iPhone and it wins an Oscar? Is that okay? Like, what if they make something that makes humans feel incredible, right? So even if you have AI as the tool, this is my point, still incredibly hard to make a piece of art that somebody or millions of people want to listen to over and over again. And if you can successfully do that, whether you're prompting it and crafting it, like Yurisa's sitting there all night working on this thing, just like she would be if she was playing guitar and writing it, but instead she's using that as her instrument. And if she can make people feel doing that, or if you're a jazz ensemble, going for the jazz album of the year, whatever it is, that's incredibly hard to do, right? Whether you're a one-person army using a certain AI platform or 10. Your will sit there using 8 AI platform, bring it into this one, bring it into this one, bring it into this one. Like takes a lot of like expertise to go that deep. And so, anyways, if you can make a piece of art that millions of people emote to and want to listen to or watch over and over again, good on you. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. And however you get there, you did it.
Create now, worry later.
Create now, worry later. So I know that Omos, I think, has to get back to the studio before too long. Is that right? I know you have to get
Right now.
right now. Yeah. So let's go really quick with a couple questions, but
We're
they
on
got
time.
to be quick. Yeah, we are.
Military time out of what is that?
My boy, I'm international businessman.
Wow, you sure are.
Tech founder. Okay.
I don't know how to
Questions.
read
Yeah, I
that.
got a quick
What
question
time
real
does that
quick.
mean?
Okay. Somebody has my right here.
yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
Really quickly, I know we've been talking about generative AI for the most part and filling in the gaps. What do you guys feel about pros and cons of what the industry looks like when you have somebody like Timberland signing an AI artist and creating an AI record label?
I can't see any cons of anybody not breaking the law, creating something that they believe in.
Tell me what you think your pros are. What your pros are.
The pros are creating something you believe in and the enrichment that comes from creating something you believe in, watching it be out in the world, and being able to stand behind your legacy as somebody who's a creator. That sounds right, but what am I doing this for? To provide for my family and create a legacy. So I believe, let's talk about what he did, right? One of the most legendary producers apparently violated the terms and conditions of something, right on a chat, right, for everyone to see. Coming from a rap world coming from a place socially that people several years prior would have been more than happy to offer him beats just to make sure that they get a placement. 2024, that same offering was offered, but it backfired, but it looks a certain way, but maybe 2 years ago it wouldn't have looked a certain way. A few years ago, maybe somebody would have been just happy to make sure that it's going to wind up somewhere, and then we're gonna get a placement. I come from a place where getting a placement is one of the rarest things. I mean, I guess it is now. It's not easy to do. It's hard to get placements. I believe that, for example, that's really the example. It's like we're breaking laws, but we've been breaking them. Now we're public and we can speak about it. Damages character. For example, I was watching people who are very powerful and potent music creators kind of coming after Timberland. People who I know maybe would base or say they base some of their music career sonically off of his offerings. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's a weird time. So bringing it back to Timberland believing, I think at that moment, that he was standing behind his art and creativity as someone who was accepting someone's offering and then just doing something new with it, and then violating, but arguably violating for the sake of creativity. It's very nuanced. So to get into that dark side of it, it's really no use to me, generally speaking. To be long-winded, it's just no good for me, generally speaking. I'm dealing more with what I feel good about. And art has that power to really polarize people and society and disrupt. That's what art does. Utilizing things that make people mad, utilizing things in your art that make people mad, being boycotted because of your art, coming to find out you were all good, now your image is tarnished. These are all the variables that happen as being a great music creator. Negatives? The negatives are what we perceive. Thine doubts are of thine own raising. I like to go to that sometimes because whatever we're doubting, it usually is in your own mind. I believe he's standing so strongly behind I believe as a music creator, as long as you stand strongly behind what you're doing, as long as you're not breaking no laws that are like felonies and shit like that, I mean, it's nuanced. You'll be vindicated later. I watched it happen to all the masters. They were all vindicated later. that can't do nothing without a human creator manipulating it, if you will, or utilizing it. No, well, no, okay, wait. I'm sure that you can hit a button and it'll start running and generating songs forever. But what are we worried about? That the society's about to get so dumb that it just wants this horrible creation? Is that where we're going? Because there has to be some, okay, I don't know. There's always going to be human beings who have taste.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, jazz is bigger than ever.
but
right
I
now,
can't really
right?
worry about cats that don't have taste, generally speaking. I have to be a tastemaker. I don't know. So I hang out with tastemakers, generally speaking, as well. Like, I don't know if tastemakers are the majority of society. So I don't know. Like, I think the crew in this room is a group of people that are not like regular, that they're not like everybody else. I'm not really scared of nothing that can't come for me. As a craftsman, here's one thing I believe. This guy was talking about institutional vibes. I've been able to straddle this institutional world and this commercial world very nicely, without at all sounding with the hopes of not sounding self-serving. For example, someone like Wynton Marsalis, who's had lucrative recording contracts on Sony, then takes over Jazz at Lincoln Center, 501c, non-for-profit. Straddling these two worlds, it bears a great deal of responsibility. Ridiculed by many in the jazz world for making classical recordings, right? Only to be the great patron of jazz and to continue on a tradition that fuels the brains of people, the brains of young people whose brains get bigger because they learn the math and science behind jazz or whatever classical music. So, I get back to just saying that the craftsmen who custom make bespoke shit are always gonna have a little. If you look at every crazy movie about the end of society, there's always the little homie who can still make the shit. At every doomsday movie, right? I don't know. I guess at the end of it, I worry about these. I'm concerned about these things, but I'm so confident in knowing that I'm a craftsman in that way, and that I'm continuing the tradition of teaching people craftsmanship. I'm happy with craftsmanship as society would try to engulf me with its boredom and layman behavior. I'm gonna stand strong in my ability to be a craftsman and teach people that they should explore that as an option. That's all. No scared. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, I know that you do have to get out of here.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, so I'm sorry we can't keep going, but craft now, worry later. So thank y'all all for being here as a part of this conversation.
Hope it wasn't too polarizing.
We're gonna keep this going.
Yeah, I think.
torn.
Yeah, I think the best thing about this, the only thing I would preach is just like pay attention to what's happening, pay attention to these tools, stay in front of the wave, experiment with them if you want to.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Experiment. If you hate it, don't use it. Maybe it opens up a new idea for you. Like Omas and I have, or I'll speak for my. I'm pretty sure for you too. I've never made a generative thing that I've released. How I know Omas and I, at least together, have had fun making music is like the AI music person is just like another musician that's in the room with us essentially, and we're all brainstorming. Me and Omas and that third person. And we're brainstorming, and we get ideas from that person sometimes, and then Omas and I go and physically make it and track it. And that's been the only way that I've been involved in terms of making something that we want to actually make commercial and release. And that's been fun. It's like we got another thing to bounce ideas off of, get new ideas from that we take and still put our sauce on it, and then go do, and that's been fun. Yeah. So yeah, but pay attention. That's my whole thing. Pay attention.
Keep your eyes on the shadow. The sparrow. Sammy Davis.
Wow. That's, okay. Yeah. That's good.
Keep your eyes on the sparrow.
Or the shadow.
No, it was the sparrow.
All right.
On the
so
Spiro.
Thank Sparrow. All right, and this. Oh, that was nice. The Sparrow. I got it. Took me a minute.
Thank you, Dr.
Keep your
John.
eyes on the Sparrow.
Keep your eyes on the
Thanks for
Spiro.
having us here, Greg. I love
Thank
it
you,
here.
Greg.
I am honored and privileged to have you here. Thank you guys so much for being here.
I want to say real quick, we're going to come back together Tuesday, October 21st with Jimmy Jam to continue this conversation.
Shit. Jimmy Jam.
Keep your eye on the Sparrow. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, this is gonna be. This is a monthly thing, so we hope you'll join us for more and tell your friends. And now, in the spirit of creativity, well, actually, first of all, give these guys a massive round of applause. Let's pay our respects. Omas is dropping some knowledge there, man. Shit.
Tormented soul.
So yeah, and we've got some great musicians in the house. We're gonna hang out. We've got more gumbo out there and drinks, and we're gonna set up a couple instruments. If you guys want to play, there's just some pretty incredible people here, and we can't help ourselves because we have this stage and these beautiful things and these beautiful people. So stick around and hang out, and we'll play a little bit and hang out, and then we'll close it when we feel like it. Cool.
Thank
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Guitar is guitar amp's gonna go right over here. Okay. I don't think there is. Oh no, bring the guitar. Are we keeping the mic on the other side of that? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Say that again? I think so, yeah.
And I have for the chord,
for these.
We get the monitor? Yeah, we're gonna do one monitor. We're gonna sit it right here.
One right there.
We'll grab it. And then we're gonna use.
What channel is this one?
This one's gonna be.
It's already plugged in on the
It's already set up. Yes. Okay. The monitor in here. Put it right between them.
Actually, I have a picture
Yeah, we'll
from that
find
night.
it.
Me and Bishop up there. And so then, like, we did the thing here, and it was like,
This isn't on, right? Huh? This isn't on? No. I just wanted to check.
Alright. That's Paul. No guitar. Yeah. So would you do bass, keys?
and so from then on, it was like,
Check it over there. Alright.
you need to be playing guitar, you need to think of everything. Oh yeah, it was super. Yeah, oh, he like hired somebody to run his company because he gets to figure out how to do and Rudy,
I've yet to see the show, but I know Rudy from Mr. Jackson. And I talked to Bishop's son. Yeah. Jason is stuff. I talked to him.
they were so early.
I don't know what this is.
You know, I
Yeah, 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 yeah. Testing the
Test, test,
microphone.
1 2. Test, test. 1 2.
All right, cool.
All good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We're good to go. Might only just need one. Those should be good. Do we need to test them anyways? Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Can you stand over there by the keys monitor and see if they're coming through there for me, please?
Yeah, yeah. Richard, can you hear? He's turning up the monitor. All good? Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're going to be singing loud once the band gets going. It's going to be hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Richard, all good? No, you're. I would too. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. All right, is that it?
Yes, sir. Oh, we don't have a bass player. Anybody play bass? My man. Give us a lick.
I don't have those.
A line. Not that good.
Why is it not getting?
You got power?
No power.
Check the cable. Turn it off. This cable?
Where are you plugging that into?
This is going into the house.
The amp is?
Yeah. Because we don't have a mic for this one, so it's going directly into the house. But this needs to go in here first. That's why I wanted to see if we had sound.
Okay.
But I think this quarter inch is.
I would scrap the quarter.
That's what I was about to do.
Yeah.
Because that's not running through the house yet. So that's why I wanted to make sure we had sound. And then
And that also, that bass is kind of weird. Oh, is it? I mean, it's a 5-string, right? And it's like kind of a, this thing's a little empty.
So because it's
so
active.
it might be the bass.
Yeah, I would turn it all off, as well as if another quarter inch doesn't work, I know that bass is
Switch it. Do you have another one we can just switch out automatically? Let's just switch it out. Let's just switch it out. We'll keep this cable. I think the cable's fine. Yeah, you're driving a new one.
I thought that was good. Yeah, I'm just like, what happened? Is it over? No, that was great. I remember. Yeah, my mom came into town and she was just like, I know, I love it. No, I absolutely love it. I love because I got a really simple I mean, if you put him in this scenario, you know exactly what it is. Because that's his house.
This is just a backup in case.
Yeah. It might have been just the bass itself.
Yeah, maybe like the battery was low on the preamp.
You guys got the bass all good?
Yeah. It is running through the house already, so we're just gonna double check. I have it muted, but I want to make sure we're getting sound first.
Other
before it runs through
quarter
the
inch
house.
on that side.
Yeah, let's run this one first. I have it off right now, so we will double check.
Yeah, we gotta really get
And I have it turned down, so. Power on, masters down, gains down.
Oh, we need some drums.
Yes.
Do
Should I
we?
grab him?
Yeah.
Is he still here?
Is Judith still here? We need some drums and some vocals.
Yes.
Yeah, they just sent it to us. I guess it's their new keyboard. I don't like listen to the sound. Go to the piano sound on that. I'll show you how. Switch that off on this one. Listen to the piano sound on that. This is like. It's a little thinner or something. Yeah, it's like. It's nice. They're both nice, but and the action on this is better because it's got a real grand action in it. It's like 'cause that can't really be decided. But like this is nicer for piano. But the Rhodes on this sounds great.
I got one of those vintage vibes. Those keyboards.
You have one?
Yeah.
Dude, one of our members is gonna lend his to us because it's just in storage right now. Herman Jackson.
It's really cool as far as the little. I got the it's basically like you can adjust the pickups on it.
Yeah.
Very very loose right? So you can go like all the way up here, and it's just super.
Okay, we're here to play.
Like fun.
Let's go! Let's go! All right, Dennis, you take my seat.
Come on.
How's it going, Elmo?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Good to see you again.
Good to
man.
see you again, man. You have fun the other night?
I had a great time.
Awesome,
That
man.
was badass.
Happy to hear.
Maybe I'll
Unbelievable.
play
I can't
bass.
believe how many people were in here.
Yeah, we packed this room, huh?
Right?
It worked out. Nothing broke, right, Greg?
Good to meet you guys. Yeah, man.
Well, I'll find out after tomorrow. I don't think so.
Nice. How often do you play bass?
Never. I don't play bass at all. I really don't. I'm filling in.
Yeah, pretty good for that. I was buying it. There's some confidence there.
So yeah.
You fooled me.
At least I had confidence.
You know, I have this game that I like to play called the Compulsult game.
The what?
Compulsult game.
Oh yeah.
And it can, it can be hypothetical. It can be real.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, that would be one. Be like, man,
You
really
had
play
such
with-
confidence.
Play with a lot of confidence.
Actually, bass is my first instrument. What are you talking about, man? I'm so hurt.
I love it. All right, more.
Yeah, why don't you guys start something? Let me follow instead of lead.
Go ahead. You got it. You wanna play a tune or you want- Whatever.
If it's a very simple tune, I could probably play it. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna play that on bass. You guys can play that.
I don't know. Sounds sick though, man.
Chick. I could try to fuss through that on bass. I can't play the line, but I can play it on keyboards. Nice.
Where's the singer?
Oh, I don't know. I think she left.
Oh, yeah, that one?
Judith?
Oh, yeah, the one that has the documentary?
I haven't seen her.
No, she left. I confirmed that she left earlier, but that was.
Nice
Thanks for making me play like that. Wow.
Oh, thank you. That was fun. That was great.
I need to be doing it more.
Oh my god. Bass. Holy shit.
What'd you start, man? What did you do?
We cleared the room.
We played together. We played together at the Bonnaroo Super Jam, like 2012. I played with Unfreeze and Keith. I played keys, yeah. You live around? Yeah. I live like a mile away. So you're last week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, do you know Sun and Jack? And then like the most people out of school, like, I was like, and then there was this. It is hard if you know it hard. But if you don't, it's like,
Right. Where are you from? Okay.
It's